Alright, so what I've been doing is a lot of small stuff, painting here and there. I painted the frame. You know, made sure all that frame stuff was painted. I built body mounts for the bed. I also built ones up here for the front. It's this right here and right here. Finished running all the fuel lines. I got brakes and shocks put in on the rear end. I have started welding on the bed to get that all welded up. I got to add a piece over there. I need to add a piece all the way across right there. It actually needs to go down past the bedside. This is where it was welded on. So I need to add all the way down there on the far side. And then I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do to fill in here. You know, it's a big fat gap in there. Still got to grind a bunch of welds down, but so currently what I'm going to do is add this piece. You can see these body mounts a little better over here. So basically I just took some 2x2 square tubing, welded it to the frame, added a little bracket off of here, and there's supposed to be a bolt in there, but there's not a bolt in this one. This one has a bolt, just a little bracket. That's it. So I need to add a piece that goes across and up right here. I went to the junkyard and I looked all around trying to find something that was similar in color, but it's all new model stuff. So I got some regular old kind of rusty steel that I'm gonna use. Did weld across the bed right here. I got these I built this whole corner on both sides and on the bottom, so it's all solid one piece. Welded the tailgate on. Same thing with over here. This one actually was solid all the way down here, but I had to add on the bottom. I had to add, what else? Paint. Got the hood kind of mounted up, so it's close to where it's gonna be. I had some customers' vehicles, not really customers, buddies' vehicles I had to work on. So I didn't really get a chance to work on this like I wanted to. And I'm still waiting on parts. I can't believe they still ain't came in, so still can't drive it. I'm trying to figure out where this headlight mount is gonna look the best. I don't know if I really like it like that. It's gonna be roughly somewhere there. I think it needs to be this way a little bit, so it'll be like right here. I'd like to figure out some bumpers to build. Just left my oil filter underneath the cab. Dumped out all over the motor, so that's how there's oil leaking. Oh, I got me some tires on there too. I mean, they're bald, but they look cool, and this one's going flat. Let me take a step back, see if you can see it. Yeah, it looks pretty tough now. It looks better from the front. I mean, she's looking pretty good. I'll move all this stuff out of the way and get a picture later, but I kind of want to do a recap of the little stuff that I've done. All right, this is the metal I'm gonna be using for this piece on the far side of the truck. So I'm just gonna take the old snippy snip things, Hobo Freight versions. I'm gonna cut this little square out and tack it up in there, and I'll set you up in the timeline. right, here's the piece for the other side. Just kind of copied this so it'll sit like that on the far side where there's nothing there. All right, well, that's the start of it for right now. I got this whole section tacked in. I still got to do a lot of welding on it. I got to weld the inside some more. Got to weld underneath and trim this corner out over here, or have it go all the way across. I ain't figured it out yet. Somehow I missed me bead rolling this line in here. I don't know, I guess I pushed play instead of pause one time. So sorry about that, but I just bead rolled this out, copied it, and drew it out and then bead rolled it. That's all I did. And then I just hammered the bottom lip over, put it in the shrinker stretcher, straightened it out so it was flat-ish. And it's not straight, it's gonna be crooked. You know, everything on this thing's a little crooked. This bedside is really beat up. I did hammer it a lot trying to straighten it out, and I could probably there's a dent right here. I guess you can kind of see it, but there's a dent right here. Probably get the old big hammer out and whack it a couple times right here and see if I can get that dent out. I'll bring him back next time I can do something. All right, I found this glass. I think it's out of a camper shell. And I'm gonna try to cut it to fit my windshield because we're getting a big snowstorm. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna use to cut it, but I'll set you up and let you probably watch me break this piece of glass. Well, that did not work. Don't use a grinder on whatever kind of glass this is. Safety glass. On to the next thing. All right, I finally got my parts in. Well, some of them. I got this right here. So if you have a 4.3 or a 350 that has an oil filter relocation, it's like mounted up on the bumper or it's on the fender, wherever they happen to put it. You need to get one of these when you take the adapter off. And the part number for 14081300. So you take this and you're going to screw it up into the block and then put your oil filter on it. Now there's a gasket or two in there you need to take off. I'll show you in a second. All right, so up underneath here, you see the filter, where the filter would go. This is where it bolts in right here, your adapter. So this gasket that's in there needs to come out. If not, it's just gonna end up in your filter and your motor somewhere. So scrape this thing off, it's threaded in there, and then you just take this and then you're gonna thread this into the block and then put your oil filter on. Make sure you get the gasket off. All right, there it is with the clean and the screw on adapter. Now, I'm gonna fill up the filter with oil, stick her on there. This is a 3980 oil filter. I couldn't tell you what this is exactly for, just know that it fits. And it was the same filter that was on the adapter. I just happen to have this one. It's not that I bought this one for this, but it's just what I had here. And then the oil, Walmart cheapo, $15.40. fill this thing up, stick it in there, and we can start it. Well, here's the new axle. I don't know if you can read here, but 41 and 11. So 41 divided by 11 is 372 point blah, 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 blah. So, well, it's 373. So now I gotta cut all this stuff off. Cut all that stuff off. Weld some spring perches on there. Put it up underneath the whole 35 over there. Or I build my whole custom suspension for it. I don't really know what to do. Let it sit here and thaw out some more and contemplate life decisions. I have decided that I'm gonna cut it all apart and just put spring perches on it. So first thing I'm gonna do is get the plasma cutter out, and I'm gonna plasma cut all this stuff off of here, top and the bottom of back axles. Cut this one off. Probably have to sawzall this one off or grinder, and then cut all these off. The only thing that's gonna be left on this thing, on the axle tube, well, I don't think there's anything gonna be left on the axle tube. Yeah, so everything's getting cut off because the shock mounts are separate on the other axle and the spring perches are separate. So it's gonna be a bare axle all the way across. So that's what I'm gonna do. The camera's dead. I'm gonna let it charge for a little bit so it might start recording, halfway through me getting all this cut off, but I'll put some time lapse in for you. All right, got the thing charged up finally. Got this side ground down pretty good. There's a couple little spots underneath there. So plasma cut it all off. Now I'm just taking a grinder and grinding away. So I'll set it up, let you do some time lapse. All right, I got this Dana 30 swapped over. There's the old one, got the new one slid up in there. The only problem that I've ran into is the spring perch right here actually needs to sit over farther. There's only 3 inches from here to here on this side, and it's 3 3/4 on the far side. So I'm gonna have to grind it down so it can set up underneath the diff housing itself. So it's getting late. Well, it's about dinner time. So I think what I'm gonna do is go inside and get me some dinner, come out here, get that thing set. I just traced out where the diff's at, and I'm gonna trim out right along this line. And that should give me a little bit of clearance that I need. Got that piece cut down. You can see how it's sitting up on top of the axle housing now, and this is sitting on the axle tube. So that's gonna be it for tonight. It's a blizzard outside. I'm sure the audio is horrible because it's just ripping like 50-mile-an-hour winds and snow right now. So let's see, let me back this thing up here. But it's in there. I'll let it sit till the morning or tomorrow at some point and get back on it. This might be I don't know. It's pretty close to the end of the video, if not a second video at this point. All right, I think this is gonna be the end of the video. I got the tires on, got a bunch of stuff done on the bed. Running, driving, some wiring done. I need a lot more wiring to do. I still gotta do that wiring kit I still gotta do. I did get the axle swapped in the front. I don't know if it's gonna be in this video or the next one, but it is running and driving. As soon as this axle's finished in, I'll have 4-wheel drive with it, get some glass. This video is kind of all over the place. I waited for parts for a long time. You know, New Year's stuff, I guess, had everything screwed up. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and commenting. You can find me on Instagram and the YouTubes. Thanks for watching.